What's going on, everybody? It's Jack, and today I'm bringing you guys my first Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel video. I'm going to give you guys a deck profile. I'm actually going to give you guys two deck profiles. One, which is the one you're going to see throughout the replays, and I'm going to give you guys one at the end, which is my updated list with just some variations and stuff like that you can do, depending on which one you would prefer. Before we get into that, I just want to say, if you like the video, subscribe if you like this sort of thing. It's my first video in quite some time, but I'm enjoying the game, I'm enjoying playing it, so here we are. So follow me on social, Twitter, Twitch, if I start streaming again, which I'm going to say I'm going to start streaming again, but I really don't know if that is ever going to happen, because, I'm going to say it, but who knows. But, follow me on there, so if you like it and I happen to stream, you'll actually know if I'm doing that as well. And I do have a TikTok, but I don't necessarily post on it, so I should probably start doing that too. But again, it comes down to if I actually do post on TikTok. So you should follow me there anyway, just so that way you can see if I do post. That way it's not a surprise for you, because it'll be a surprise for me, I'm not going to lie. But if you like this kind of content, just let me know, by following me and doing all that stuff and, all the YouTube algorithm fun stuff. And if you like my dry sense of humor, then great. If you like this kind of content, great. And if you like really obscure pop culture references, I'm also your guy. And as a variety of content that I do enjoy personally, I'd like to kind of bring that variety of content out. So that's where we're at. I do have 9 replays in this video for you. I did go 9-1 with this deck. However, the 9 replays is because the loss was me just completely bricking, and there's no point in you seeing me completely bricking with my hand against Dragon Link. Dragon Link just completely shut me down. I was going second with a terrible hand, so there's really no point in watching that video. It doesn't show you anything. It doesn't prove anything. It was just a terrible starting hand and going second against Dragon Link, and he just full comboed off, and I was just sitting there just kind of playing solitaire until it was my turn. But that's going to do it for this intro. I'm going to get into the deck profile and the replay. Make sure you guys stay to the end so you can see the updated deck list as well. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right, real quick, let's go through the card by card. Triple Hers. Hers really like secondary extender. You don't really need to see it first. However, Hers is still able to make your whole board however you want, just because it works and synergizes with Machine Duplication and Galaxy Soldier, so it's a nice way to start off. However, in an ideal world, it is not your initial starter, but it's still a starter nonetheless. One Natster. Natster just really is an extender, and it's searchable, so you really only need one of, because otherwise it can kind of get bricky in the hand, so you don't really want to overload your deck with those. However, it's searchable, it's special summonable, you can special summon something else with it, so you can extend with it very easily, so in that regard it's really nice. Triple Max C, it's Master Duel, you run Triple Max C. Triple Core. Core is your starter of the deck, it's your searcher of the deck, it's literally everything you want it to be, it's everything you need it to be. You run 3 Core. Triple Ash, Ash Blossom, and Max C, you run 3 of each, because this is Master Duel and you run 3 of each. It's a Cyber Dragon deck, you run 3 Cyber Dragon. It's literally how you start off your plays, it's how you start breaking boards, and you'll see how you do that in a minute. Galaxy Soldier. Galaxy Soldier is probably better than Cyber Dragon, just in terms of like what you do with it. However, Galaxy Soldier within Cyber Dragon synergizes really well. It's a level 5, it's a light, it's a machine, so it's searchable with all the Galaxy. So within Galaxy Soldier itself, it self-searches, and it also is searchable with the Cyber Dragon searchers, so in that regard, it's just the perfect fit. You run 3 of this, because if you open 1 of it, you open 2 of it, you open 3 of it, like you're going to be able to go off and build your board however you want. 1 Jizukiru, Kaiju, it's a light, it's a machine, so it's searchable. And because it's searchable, it's always going to be live. Your opponent's not going to be able to have a response for it. You're going to be able to break your opponent's boards with this. And because you break your opponent's boards with this, that's how you go in for your OTKs and your quick kills of your opponent's life points. Let's see, Machine Duplication. Machine Duplication, it's how you extend your board. It's how you build your board. You normal summon Core, you Machine Duplication, now you got 3 Cyber Dragons on board, go off however you want. You can do the same thing with Hers, so either way you cut it, like Machine Duplication, just mandatory 3 of. Overload Fusion, honestly it's your main fusion in the deck, just because it's the easiest one to do just because whatever's in your yard you can banish and you get something on board. And really, you only need 2 Cyber Dragons in your yard in order to go into your Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon. And if you go into Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon, you're going to be able to OTK. You're going to see that come up a couple times. Like that's the way you win and end games, just super quick. And with Verte Anaconda, Overload Fusion, it's just a perfect 1-2 punch. Cyber Emergency really, it's one of your main searchers, but because it's your main searcher for everything, it searches Galaxy Soldier, it searches Juzukiru, it's just great to have, and it again searches pretty much whatever you want or whatever piece you're missing. Same thing with Cyber Repair Plant. Once you get a Cyber Dragon in the yard, Cyber Repair Plant is live, and it searches the remaining pieces that you need. So pretty much you're guaranteeing yourself that you'll have full combo, or at least enough of combo in order to hold off your opponent or OTK your opponent, depending on if you're going first or second. Cyber Rev System, it's your Monster Reborn, but it's also an extender from your hand if you're going first or second and you don't have anything in your yard yet. So triple Cyber Rev System, it's searchable again, so in that regard it's great, but really the important thing is that it's an extender from your hand or yard, and so it works out really well either way. Double Lightning Storm, you don't really need 3 Lightning Storm. You could go a little bit with overkill on and go 3 of. However, I found that 2 of, you see it enough times, especially going second. It doesn't clog up your deck, doesn't clog up your hand, because it's really one of those things that you want to play first. Obviously, you have to play it first, and if your opponent negates it, great, you can go off with the rest of your plays. Your opponent doesn't negate it, you're pretty much going to OTK. Call by the Grave, it's a great way to stop just a lot of plays in their yard. If they max see you, you call by the Grave, it's over. They're going Eldritch, they have an Eldritch in their yard, you banish it and that kind of thing. So it works out really well either way. So it's just a nice piece to have going second in order to just kind of stop them from going off and however they want to do it. Cyberload Fusion, it's kind of your secondary fusion, but it's searchable, so it's nice. It's just another fusion piece just because this is fusion-based deck, so you want to have something that you can search and do it that way. Double Overflow. Overflow is just another way to just kind of start off, if you're going first, just a way to disrupt your opponent's plays. It also helps fuel your yard and stuff like that, and because of that, it's just a nice 2-of to have. In terms of the extra deck, we got Rampage Dragon. Rampage Dragon, it's your game ender, honestly. Like, this is what can break your opponent's board in so many different ways. It destroys cards, and then it can swing 3 times per game. You're going to notice it just does so much work for you, and it's just so easy to go into. It's almost guaranteed. Fortress Dragon. Basically, Fortress Dragon, 2-of, you end up going Juzukiru for your opponent, and then when they have a machine on board, you normal summon Cyber Dragon or any Cyber Dragon at all, Core, Hers, OG, whatever you want, and then you contact Fuse off into Fortress Dragon, and now you have a monster and your opponent doesn't, and you got rid of one of their problematic threats without even a question. So in terms of that, that's great. Late game, Chimera Tech Overdragon becomes an option just because you have so many Cyber Dragons in your yard. This thing can get massive super quickly, and it can just end the game and just kind of seal it for you in that way. Cyber End Dragon is almost worthless in this deck, I'm not going to lie. I have the one copy of just in case I go into it on some, like, troll play, basically, but it's not necessary by any means. Double Mega Fleet. Mega Fleet, if your opponent's running any kind of link-based strategy, Mega Fleet's going to come up. It's just super easy. It's the extra Monster Zone equivalent of Fortress Dragon, so between the 4 of them, you're going to be able to break whatever board your opponent has just by playing some Cyber Dragon and then fusing yourself off into it, and your opponent's not going to be able to have a response to you, which is even better. Double Nova, double Cyber Dragon Nova. This card really is obviously just fuel for your Infinity. However, in certain situations, Nova can just go for game because it can double its attack. So now you're swinging for 4,200 attack. And if this doubles its attack to 4,200 and you have Seeger out, you're looking at 6,300 attack, which should at some point end the game. Infinity, it's an Omni Negate, so double Infinity. Infinity's great. Like, you end up with Seeger, Infinity, Overflow on like a turn 1 board. Your opponent's really not going to have many options, and it's going to be really hard for them. And then if you have any like hand trap in hand, like, it's going to be really hard for them to play through it. 1 Zeus, you have Xyz, so if you swing on turn 2, but you don't kill your opponent off, you go into Zeus. Now your opponent's going to have to deal with Zeus, and that just becomes a whole different problem for them. One, Almirage. Honestly, Almirage is only in here just because if you link off any like Cyber Dragon, whether it's core or hers, it ends up making your repair plant live just because of that. And it does add some protection, and because it adds protection, it's just a nice little piece to have. And it's kind of a nice way to start off your combo, especially if your opponent doesn't have something out that you can kaiju and then fuse off into like Fortress or Mega Fleet. This is your way to go. One, Seeger. Seeger is just fantastic because it's a quick little like battle trick that you can just double your opponent, like double your monster's attack if your opponent swings into something. Like, it's just good protection, so you end up having Seeger and Infinity. Your opponent's not going to break that. And then one, Verte Anaconda, because it's a fusion-based deck, and if it's a fusion-based deck, you want to be able to make your fusion plays, and so there's your Verte Anaconda. But this is the version 1 of the deck that you're going to see through the replays. At the end of the video, you are going to see the version 2, which is a little spicier, but it does add a little bit more dimension to it, and you'll see why at the end. But enjoy the replays. And we're back. And if you stayed to the end of this, you're going to get the updated version of the deck. And as you can see here, we have made a few changes. I'm just going to go over them real quick for you. We added a Dragon Buster Destruction Sword just for the Buster lock, just because if you are going first, you'll notice that all of our fusions are dark except for Cyber and Dragon. And because they are all dark, they all synergize to be able to get equipped with the Buster Sword, and because of that, locks your opponent out of the extra deck. And if it locks your opponent out of the extra deck, they're going to have a really rough time. We kept the 3 Hers, the 1 Natcher, the triple Maxi, the triple Cyber Core, the triple Ash, the triple Cyber Dragon, the triple Galaxy Soldier, but we did add a second Juzukiro for a second Kaiju, just because we want to make sure we draw one of them. And also, if we end up drawing one, searching one, we get both of them. We get one on our side of the field, one on your opponent's side of the field, and it just becomes a rough time because now we have a 3,300 beat stick on our side of the field for free, which is just fantastic. We did add a Power Bond because Power Bond is just another one of those sneaky plays, sneaky ways just to be able to end the game a lot quicker, and any way to end the game quicker is what Cyber Dragon wants to do. And by doing so, we did cut down to only 1 Overload Fusion just because it is playable through Verte Anaconda, so we don't really ever need to see it, and if we see it, it's fine, but if we don't see it, it's perfectly fine as well. We kept everything else pretty much the same. 3 Cyber Emergency, 1 Repair Plant, 3 Rev System, 2 Lightning Storm, 2 Called, 1 Cyberload Fusion, and 1 Cybernetic Overflow over the 2, just because we don't really need it unless we're going first, and we can pretty much guarantee that we can search for it and find it, and that way it's not really necessary to clog up our hand otherwise. And again, it's really just a going first card anyway. As for the extra deck, we cut 1 Fortress Dragon and 1 Mega Fleet just because we don't really ever see 2 of them anyway, and also we're trying to end the game as fast as possible. So really, if we're seeing both Fortress Dragons or both Mega Fleets, we've got problems. So in an ideal world, we're never going to see that anyway. So we really didn't need 2 of each of those to begin with. We did add 1 Assembled Nightingale just because we do have 5 level 1s, and the 5 level 1s do allow us to go into that, which is just another line to get into Zeus. That's really all that's there for. However, it does come up occasionally just because if we have a Hers on board and we play a Naxter or special summon it, we end up going into Assembled Nightingale, which gives us a free Zeus automatically anyway. So in that regard, it is nice. But otherwise, the only addition really is Union Carrier just to help facilitate the Buster lock. That is the updated deck, and that is where it stands right now. The only thing would be if you don't want to go with the Buster lock, which is perfectly fine, I would say maybe add another Overflow again if that's what you want, or I would say Infinite Impermanence would be another option, but you'd probably want to cut a Kaiju and the Buster Destruction Sword in order to do that. You don't have to play the Power Bond. Power Bond is really just, like I said, it's spice more than anything. It's just kind of a nice little cheeky way to end the game. In terms of a much more like competitive build, you're probably not playing Power Bond, so you can get rid of Power Bond, get rid of the Buster Lock, maybe get rid of a Kaiju, and now you're playing 3 Imperm, and then that would be the only tweak I would say for that. And you can get rid of Assemble Nightingale for like Pleiades or maybe a second Seeger or something like that if that's what you want. However, there are opportunities for Assemble Nightingale to come up. But that's going to do it, guys. That is the deck profile. That is the updated deck profile as it stands currently. So until next time, guys.